Hello and welcome to another Astor interview with me, Mark Goldfinch, at Deal Community Radio. My guest this time is Janet Robinson. Hello, Janet.
Hello, Mark. How are you?
Very good, thank you. Thanks for coming. Could you explain to the listeners what you do at the Astor Theatre?
Well, I've started up a company last July called the Robing Room, primarily to do bespoke garments, handmade garments, mainly formal and wedding wear. But because of my background, which in the last sort of 10 years or so has been teaching, I decided to do workshops. And I was looking for sort of a local venue and just happened to walk into the Astor, and so I decided to do some sewing workshops. And because the burlesque classes were going at the same time, I thought, corsets would be a good idea. So initially the first course that I've implemented is a corset course. And
that's easy to remember at least.
It is.
It's a corset course.
It is, and it's quite fun. It's quite specialised though, I suppose. So I would like to also offer some much simpler probably courses would be a good idea. That's the feedback that I have from local people. The idea is that they're fairly short courses, so I've sort of tailor-made them to fit into no more than 6 sessions.
And how long is each session? 3
hours, because by the time you've sort of set up, had a chat, and you probably get a good little bit of sewing done in between. I want to make them enjoyable for people to come to. There are a lot of people that have got sewing skills. Who, those people that can remember the days when sewing was actually taught in schools properly. But also there's younger people that are really interested in doing it because of having an educational background. I've sort of narrowed it down to try and involve everybody so that those that aren't that skilled won't feel out of their depth, and those that are skilled will feel that maybe they're just doing something they haven't done before.
Oh, great. So it's a friendly, welcoming community.
Yes.
And people working on similar garments,
yes.
But sharing information.
Yeah.
And you're the tutor, you're the expert.
That's right. And they can make, the idea is that they can make the corsets for themselves. Maybe they're one of the people participating in the burlesque class, so then they can actually make a corset that they can use.
Obviously, sewing is a great skill that, to be honest, I think
Definitely.
Everybody should have.
Absolutely.
And it is coming back. It's great to see
is.
that it's coming back.
Yes, I'm really happy about that.
So what kind of activities does your course offer students? What kind of
They will
stitching?
need a sewing machine because it will involve machine stitching, but I'll also be in other courses, and also the corsetry course. There is a certain amount of hand stitching, which is lovely. It's nothing like sitting around in a group with your needle and sewing and having a little chat while you're doing it. I can help them fix it up if they don't even know how to work it.
Well, that's a great start. So you can come with a sewing machine that is new,
yes.
or borrowed, and actually start from scratch.
Exactly.
That's a really great opportunity for somebody who's humming and ahhing about sewing and thinking, well, actually, I've got some garments here that I would like, or I've got some patterns here that I would like to use, from my mother or from grandmother or from
That's right.
From a book,
yeah.
And actually start designing your own materials, but you've hesitated because you haven't got the skills and you're not sure you're doing it right.
That's
and you don't want to spend the
exactly
money
that.
on thread or material.
You've mentioned materials there, and so it's also making people aware of helping people to choose the right materials for whatever it is they're going to make. Because I've seen so many disasters, with students where they choose the wrong fabrics for what they want to make, and the garment doesn't work, and they think they can't do it, but it's really just, a wrong decision that's been made. So that's the idea, is to help people so that, they can take that help away with them and broaden their own skills in their own time.
Well, that's a great opportunity. Sounds great fun.
Yes, it should be fun.
I might set up myself.
It'd be nice to get some chaps coming, I must say.
Well, to be honest, I think it's not gender specific
No,
these days.
not.
There's plenty of people who are just interested in making their own clothes. You say a corset. Actually, a fella could actually start making their own waistcoats and things.
Exactly.
And waistcoats
Yes.
back in, we know from the sartorial fashions of 2014. So,
and ties. Ties would be a great workshop to do as well. So yes, I'm hoping to, to offer quite a variation on different themes, particularly things that maybe people can make as Christmas presents, for example. What I've done is I've tried to, like the 6-week corset session is, it comes at a cost of £60. So I've kept the price sort of right down, so that it's doable for a lot of people. And I thought sort of initially, because corsets are quite small, so that the actual cost of fabrics is quite minimal. You haven't got to go out and buy metres and metres of cloth.
You'd be the first to say you'd encourage people to come along at any stage of the course and just meet the people, meet the other students, meet yourself.
Yes, yeah.
And then you can come along you can get to know the system and come along to the next course that you run.
Yeah, so the next one that I've proposed is 1930s, sort of those beautiful bias cut dresses. People have become very interested recently. I mean, Downton Abbey has sort of come through the 20s, and it probably will sort of start going into the 1930s.
So I'm talking to Janet Robinson, who's the tutor running the robing room sewing workshops here at the Astor Theatre. So can you remind us what days and times
they're
and
on
prices?
Initially they're on a Wednesday from 10 till 1, so that people that have obviously got to do the school run can actually fit it in quite comfortably in the middle of the day. They're on a Wednesday 10 till 1.
How did you get into this? What's your background?
Well, I grew up in Folkestone, and at the time there was a big manufacturer, UK-based manufacturer for Marks and Spencer's, and I won an apprenticeship. I had to enter a competition at school, and I made this little outfit, won the competition, had an apprenticeship for 3 years. They sent me to the London College of Fashion to train me up. I landed up working for, I've been working with the industry for about 30 years. At the moment, I'm actually external advisor the London College of Fashion new pattern cutting degree course. That's at London College of Fashion, which is based in John Prince's Street near Oxford Circus.
Right in the heart of the West End.
That's right, yes. And I worked for about 8 years up in the West End as well, in a design room up there, supplying such stores as Next. And so I've had quite an enjoyable time.
Have you met any famous people, or actually designed for famous people that people will know of? Household names.
Yeah, or they could look them up on the internet. When I started teaching, I became involved with some more high fashion companies. Harriet Smews was one of the companies that I worked with. We actually did a photo shoot with Sophie Anderton, who was actually being interviewed the other day on the TV. And also Basso and Brooke are a design house that I worked with very closely, and they did a collection for the Dorchester hotels, and I actually worked on some of the work with them.
Well, it's very glamorous.
It's hard work though,
yeah.
But yes.
Yeah, these things don't come from nowhere.
That's it. There's a lot of hard work that goes on behind it, and also we did collection of garments for Girls Aloud when they were on tour. Oh, wow. So that was fun. Yeah. Okay,
absolutely wonderful. So do you have anything else to add to that?
Just to say to everybody that, do come along and give me some ideas of what workshops you think would be relevant and entertaining as well.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much, Mark.
Right. I've been talking to Janet Robinson, who runs the Robing Room sewing workshops here at the Astor Theatre in Deal. For more information on this course and all the other activities at the Astor Theatre, please have a look at the website www.theastor.org or phone 370-220 or just call into the box office at the Astor Theatre. Thank you for listening, and I hope you'll join me for the next Astor interview on Deal Community Radio.